And welcome along if you've just joined us. It is Yasmin Khan here with you on Easter Sunday on BBC Three Counties Radio. Now, an Indian group in Milton Keynes could lose the prospect of building their own temple. The DREAMSAI group had some land reserved to build the facility, which would include a community centre, but their plans have been put on hold because they have lost the support of a key partner. The group has now started a petition to encourage the wider community to get behind the project. Lakshman Kastala and Upendra Dharmadikari are from the DREAMSAI project in MK and join me in the studio. Thank you both so much for coming in. First of all, Lakshman, could I ask you, what is the DREAMSAI group? What does it mean?
Yeah, sure. Yasmin, thank you for having us on the show. With your permission, can we actually start this community program with a small chant, which is referring to our Guru and the whole project. Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Bow to Shri Sai, peace be to all.
Thank you.
Yasmin, DREAMSAI is a project which is initiated by the Milton Keynes community, a community which is passionate, devoted and dedicated to give back something to our community where we are living in.
Right.
This project has been initiated in 2015 to build a temple and community centre in Milton Keynes for our community.
So it's a faith-based community.
Yeah.
And tell me what the meaning of the phrase DREAMSAI is. Who was behind it?
Very good question. So the DREAMSAI has two parts to it. Dream, as our dream of our community to build a facility. Sai is name of our Guru, Saibaba.
Okay.
Let me explain a bit more about Saibaba. Saibaba is 19th century saint who lived in India in a town called Shirdi, which is very near to Mumbai. That's why he's always called as Shirdi Saibaba.
Right.
And his teachings combine elements of many religions. It's not just Hindu or Islam or Christianity. His teachings spread across all the religions. That's why his followers are not only Hindus. There are Shirdi Saibaba followers across the world, cutting across the religions.
Right. And how do you have a sense of how big the community is?
There are millions of devotees for Sai Baba across the world.
Right. And Upendra, how many people locally in MK belong to the group?
We started the group with 500 people's endorsement on the DREAMSAI project. We reckon there are around 2,000 plus people who are supporting the community with the faith.
Wow, okay, so a fair following locally. And how long have you been trying to get this whole project off the ground for the community centre, the facility, all of that?
Yeah, this DREAMSAI team itself, Yasmin, has been working for the community on multiple projects in its individual rights or as a group for the last 10 years. But when it actually goes into the DREAMSAI, the project itself took off the ground in 2015.
Okay.
So it's actually 3 years this project has been running in Milton Keynes.
And you've talked about the kind of physical facility that we might see, but what to you would be the impact of it on the broader local community?
Fantastic. As I mentioned before, Sai Baba or his teachings are nothing to do with a particular sect or a particular religion or a community. He practiced what he preached. He led a simple life. He always suggested all his followers to help all living beings without any discrimination. So this particular facility, one, it would be offering a place of worship for all his followers in particular, and also this will be a meeting place for all the Indian community and the local community to celebrate the cultural events and also practice and follow the things like yoga and meditation and also the other things related to everyone's culture. So this is a facility which is going to be open not only for an Indian community but the wider Milton Keynes community in the neighbourhood.
And okay, so it's a nice idea because we're always looking at things that help the community, but we know that, you know, land is not easy to come by, money is not easy to come by. So how did you get sort of started with the land and any of the money in the first place?
Yeah, so once we started this DREAMSAI project, we as a DREAMSAI Milton Keynes team went out to the community because this facility is a long-standing desire of the community where the community can meet. So community recognizing this fact, they came in hundreds to support this particular project, and their support is in terms of their financial pledges, their endorsement to the project and their time and the moral support into the project. So this is not only from the Indian community as such, we got support from the other faith groups, community groups, local councillors, the parish, the MP, political parties, everyone came together and supported. This is the project that we need to build for the community cohesion and to meet the needs of the community.
Okay.
And what I would add is that, obviously we have done a good amount of research. We looked at what the local community profile is and, how funding can be done. So I think we have got a robust finance plan behind executing the project. We think that collectively the core members of the project itself could generate all the funds required for this project.
Okay, so I mentioned in the introduction that you've lost the support of a key partner. Is that what's stopping you moving forward right now?
Yeah, the key reason why we got this other national organization into the mix, Asmin, is actually twofold. One is this organization also follows the similar faith, is one reason, and we thought it would be better to align with another national organization so it adds value to a local group is one reason. But actually, the second reason is we have an existing relationship in managing some of their operations in Milton Keynes for the last 7 years. So that's why we actually applied for the land with the Milton Keynes Community Foundation under the banner of this national organization. But once the land has been conditionally reserved for this particular project, the national organization threw some spanner into the works and said, we are going to take the control back into the London, which is where the whole issue has started, where the community is upset and gutted about losing the control of this project, which will not allow us to give the benefits we want to give to the local community as a local team.
Do you think then that Upendra, that you can get this off the ground eventually?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are such a passionate team that we think that we can execute this project on our own. We truly believe that we have got a fantastic team to execute the project. I know that there has been a delay with this key partner being lost, but I think if we look at the response, I mean, we did a petition to just test waters with the local community, and we saw that there's a fantastic response on the petition, and we've got around 500 endorsements in 3 days time, which tells us that and it's exceeded the original project endorsements by a good margin, so which tells us that we can execute this project in a good accelerated time frame.
Well, we did ask for a comment from the national organisation, but they haven't responded so far to our request. But can I ask you, because obviously as you mentioned the word passion there and how much you kind of want to get it off the ground, what attracts both of you to this particular, is faith the right way to describe it, this particular following? Why Saibaba?
Indeed, we grew up back home in India, and as part of our growing life, we have seen and followed his preachings, and which actually helps nothing but a cohesive, harmonious society. So that's all we all want in this modern world. So what we are trying to do this is add our bit into the community to build that harmonious, cohesive society.
With a guru that was not of our time, as it were.
Indeed.
That is quite timely. It's 100 years this year since he left his physical form.
Right.
And one of his preachings was about Sabka Malik Ek, which is, there's one God for everyone. And he united, back then, he united Hindus and Muslims in India, which was quite an achievement by actually throwing a lot of, concerns of people out of what faith brings to people's lives.
I was going to ask you, because it's not uncommon now for the communities to be sadly quite separate in many ways because of different faith following, the way they live their life and all this kind of thing. So is it easy now in MK? I don't know, are the majority of the community that you have originally Hindu, or is it a real mix? How does it work?
Milton Keynes is a true multicultural town, and as you know, it is one of the fastest growing town in Europe as well. So we have people from across the cultures and communities, and it's a lovely place where everyone is living together. That's why we want to add this facility into the community, which will add more value to our community well-being and togetherness.
And when you talk across faith groups in MK, how responsive and reactive are people to the idea of DREAMSAI?
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, we have reached out to other faiths, and it's quite good that the town is such that we experiment a lot of ideas together in doing things new and together. So I've reached out, Lakshman has reached out to people from other faith, gurus on the other side, as we call it, the faith leaders, and got very good support and response from them. What we would like to achieve is that once we have this community center, is that we are running, cultural activities which span across faiths, and we are able to bring a more multicultural activity in the facility.
Well, thank you so much for coming in to talk to us and explain it all. Where can people find out more if they want to find out about the building?
There are multiple ways, Yasmin. One is getting onto a website which is being completely rebuilt and refreshed. It is www.dreamsai.org, and they can find all our contact details over there. If they want to email, they can email support@dreamsai.org, or they can get into change.org and look into our petition, DREAMSAI, and we request all the community members to support this project, which is being done for our local community by the local community.
And that's DREAMSAI, SAI spelled.
SAI, Dream and SAI.
Well, thank you so much to both of you for coming in.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you for having us.